lab, it's time for the show. Marcus Lee Stephenson's got that flow. Conversations that matter every Tuesday night. Inspiration, laughter, love shining bright. Turn it up.
Subscribe to the Marcus Lee Stephenson Show today.
I'm going to let them dive in. We're going to have fun, and we're going to see where it goes. So, let's go.
Well, look who's in the hot seat today.
I know.
Oh, we're going to love this. But Marcus Lee Stephenson, as you prefer.
Yeah.
So many titles, so many accolades, from father to author to entrepreneur. And now, as you mentioned,
grandfather and newly
there are
Great-grandfather.
Great-grandfather. Yes,
my
congratulations.
grandson, Jamarion,
Yes.
got married and almost finished with college.
Yes.
Yes.
So since you mentioned the books, and Reinvented is one of those, what does the word reinvented mean to you in terms of life and the book?
To me, it means like the resurging of who God made me to be. Recently lost my dad last year. So a lot of stuff of knowing, sometimes we forget who we are. We forget how we was raised. But luckily for me, my grandmother always told us, never forget where we come from. So I was able to always keep that. And Reinvented came in maybe a week or two after Dad had passed away. God had put it on my heart to start writing again. I didn't want to because I was just, numb at that time, because I feel like, even though I'm a grown man, almost 60, that I lost my mom, I lost my dad, and I don't have no parents. So God said, it's okay. They're okay. So Reinvented came for a repurpose to who I am as a person, as a father, as a grandfather, and again, great-grandfather now. Still got my siblings. I got my baby sister, Rachel, and my baby brother, Lawrence Ray, and then my other two brothers, Frank and Eugene. We call them Blue. He got so many nicknames, so we just gonna say Melvin, Eugene, head off, street names,
Yes.
But yeah, I've been blessed to write it. I was blessed to have Les Brown do the forwarding on it. The book is very impactful. It doesn't matter if you man, woman, whatever. It's a structured book to dig deep inside for who you are. Knowing who you are is the main thing. Let's say from repurpose to reinvented. It's not, I can't reinvent me. I just have to pull out what was inside of me that I sheltered, I pushed away. I was afraid to show who I am as a person for whatever reason, because I was raised, I was a nerd in school, but then back in the 80s and 70s, being a nerd wasn't cool like it is now. Now you get all the accolades. If someone Colades just did one of your daughter's graduation, she's got all kind of. I said, man, I could have had them too, But I was afraid to get them, because like we had a conversation about education, but it's just letting you know, don't be afraid who you are, So yeah, I can dive in. That's questions y'all gonna have, but yeah.
So, looking back on the timeline of your life, I think it's so interesting. You now are diving back into acting because you were in acting, for instance, talk about reinvention or just allowing yourself to really explore all of the opportunities that have been placed before you. It's like every day there's a new phone call of a new opportunity in a different arena and area. What makes it that now you're not afraid to move forward and be fully who you are and exploit all of the gifts and talents that God's given you?
Honestly, I think I listen to God more now than I did when I was younger, because I thought I had the answers. I thought I can pause it when I want to pause it. But to the fact with acting and stuff, I stopped it when my mama got sick. So prayed about God, and everybody's like, man, why you stop? I was like, well, I wanted to be home. I wanted to be close to my mom. Found out she had cancer, so I was like, well, let me just put all this on pause. And I was raised that what's for you is for you, regardless. So I took a leap of faith. I said, okay, God, I'm gonna stop doing this for whenever you want me to start back up, whatever it is. I'm here. I've always been techie, always been a IT nerd or whatever. So I stopped I used to write stage plays, did a lot of ghostwriting for people, but I put all that on pause to focus on my mom. To kind of learn what I can learn from her. And I'm actually glad I did, because if I was stayed in the acting then, I would have missed out on who I am now. So I think that's a part of reinventing. That's a part of being who you are, who you're led to be. I didn't know who I was led to be. I was just free Marcus. I was divorced. My second divorce. Then moved to New Orleans. Did some acting that was that era, and so I was good. I would drive home. Well, to Texas every other weekend to spend time with the kids. It was tough, but I said, I go see my babies. I gotta see my babies. It wasn't about me being a divorced dad. It was like, I'm gonna go see my kids and get back to set that morning, Sunday night, or midnight, 2-3 hours sleep. But I had a good weekend, just hugging on my babies, and that was important to me.
Yeah. And speaking of going back to who you are or who God is creating you to be, let's take that back to Greenville, where it all started. And you speak so lovingly about your family. Greenville, Texas. We love your transparency in the book, and it is so incredibly moving. There is a particular story that you share in chapter 1.
Which one?
I'm going to get to that. That phone call when you were a small child, that defining moment that changed the trajectory of your life. Tell us about that.
Yeah,
Yes.
my grandmother. Yeah, and you guys are reading the book. I was 5. It's ironic. I remember what I had on, from my little cowboy boots to my Western little pistol. They had the little cops in it. The flannel shirt.
You've always been a cowboy then.
Yeah. I'm a cowboy. I'm a country boy.
You're a country
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah,
Yes.
cowboy. I'll wear my. You'll see some pictures of me in my cowboy hat and stuff. But yeah, I was, and I remember it in the kitchen. I was going through the living room because we had a piano, one of them old high tops piano. So trying to just it was off tune, off key. So then some of them keys were stuck, and I heard my mom and dad in there arguing for whatever reason, But this one sounded different, because usually I wasn't privy to that. If they did, I didn't know about it. But this one, I was able to. So I was playing. I kept hearing screaming. I heard my dad voice rising up. I looked in the bedroom door was cracked, so it was off to the left of the living room. And I was looking, and I saw my dad had his hand around my mom's neck. My mom screaming and this and that. My dad fussing at her, and I was just like, man. So I'm started crying. I didn't know what to do. I think my other sibling was probably in the back. Some was probably in the backyard, whatever. My sisters, I don't know where they was at. Probably outside playing, because it was 9 of us, so it couldn't keep going with everybody. Some of them probably taking a nap. And then it started raining, so I ran to the kitchen, grabbed that old phone, you could dial. If you miss a number, you got to start all over again.
Yeah.
But the cord was long enough to reach around the whole house. And I remember calling my grandmother, crying, just like threw water on my face. And she said, hey, baby. I said, Granny, Daddy hit Mama. That's all I remember. And I'm steady, boo-hooing, just not everywhere, just crying. And then next thing I know, I'm in the front where the front door was at. So I'm sitting there crunched down, crying, just talking, Granny, hurry up, Granny. My grandmother couldn't drive. I don't know where my granddad was at, but all I know, as I'm thinking, I'm still on the phone talking to my grandmother. And she stayed at other end of town. So about 20-minute drive or something like that. Walking, it would take longer. So, but all I remember, I'm being on the phone, I see the front door open. It's thunderstorming, it's lightning. I'm thinking, okay, the wind pushed the door open. because back then the locks weren't all that good. And it was a wood frame house, but it was my grandmother, and she bust out like, you ever see a scary movie or a movie and you just somebody come through the door and just
Hmm.
all the
See the
storm
silhouette,
I
the
actually, I
yeah,
can see
shadow.
that. Yes, with the
yeah,
rain and
Uh-huh.
the yes.
Yeah.
and I'm on the phone like Granny, and I seen it. She didn't say nothing to me. She went straight to the right to my dad, and I'm still on the phone walking, Granny, because I'm like, well, I'm talking to Granny. I'm thinking, and by the time I got to the door into where I can see, my grandmother pulled out a a white pearl handle little pistol. They were like a 32 or 22 at that time. I don't remember. But all I know is she pulled it to my dad's head. And by this time, he still had his hand around my mom. And my mom was just crying. That's when the Jerry Curl days or something like that. And so I was like, wow. And my grandmother pulled a gun on my dad's head. And she said, Melvin, I love you, but if you ever hit my child again, I'll kill you dead. I dropped the phone. I was thinking, man, my daddy gonna die because of me. Traumatized at that time.
Yeah,
Didn't know it was
that's a
trauma.
lot. Mm-hmm.
And my grandmother, Eleanor Gocher, rest her soul, said, Melvin, leave. I don't know if he packed anything. I just know it was storming, raining, and just he left. And I immediately ran because my grandmother was holding my mom, and I got in, squashed between them, and just hugged my mama. Mama, I'll never hit a woman, mama. I love you, mama. I'm sorry, mama, daddy did this to you. And I said, I've never hit a woman in my life. I never raised a hand to a female in my life. And I've been in relationships where women hit me. No, I'm not. 'Cause they want to fight. I'm like, who are you? And yeah, that's it was deep, but in a part of me, I'm thankful. It's weird that it happened because it helped me respect women a lot more. I think if I hadn't seen it, because I have classmates and cousins that get into with women, and I've raised my boys, my sons, never hit a woman. They never understood why I said that because I never explained to them. I just said you never hit a woman, you know. And then my oldest son tried to hit his sister one day. I got on to him. I said one thing we don't do is ever. I don't care if it's your sister, your cousin. We don't hit women. We don't raise our hands to women because it's just something men don't do. You know, that's how I was raised because I saw that firsthand. And yeah, it's touching.
Yeah.
It sounded like, and I think you've said this before, was that a repressed memory that didn't come to you until after
Yeah.
your dad passed? Talk about that moment. How did that happen?
After my dad passed, and it's like you right, suppressed. But I didn't know it was trauma until I think after my dad died. Then everything else started coming back. I used to stutter real bad in school. Didn't know why. It was like, okay. Then it started coming. You were stuttering because you were still in fear of when you saw your dad hit your mom, choke your mom,
Yes.
and stuff like that. And I remember, I hate when the teacher would pick me to read always. I'm like, what's picking on me? In my mind, in my head, I'm reading perfectly like a scholar. But coming out, it was that fear of, oh, and the kids was just waiting to be like this. We know he finna stutter, and they just laugh. He hit it. I'm like, and I hated that. But I felt the teacher was picking on me. Not saying that they was or wasn't, but that's how I felt because they didn't know my story. I didn't know that was my story. I didn't know because back in the days we didn't talk about trauma.
Right.
Trauma was something that we black, we ain't saying trauma. We ain't saying
Yeah, what stays in this house, what happens in this house,
Yeah,
Oh, I
we thought
remember.
stays in
counseling
this
was for
house.
other people, not us.
I remember
Yes.
one day. It was funny. I told my mom, I'm gonna run away. She said, "Okay, hold on, come here." Yes, ma'am. Take that shirt off. Take those shoes off. Take them pants off. She said, "You keep your underwear on. I'm gonna leave you with some dignity." That was the first and last time I would say, "My mom, I'm gonna run away," because I thought I didn't get my way. I was, a spoiled child.
So you talk so endearingly about your mom and your grandmother, and
Yes.
the image of your grandmother, busting in the door essentially
Yeah.
and kind of saving the day. How
hmm
has that impacted your respect for women and how you view the strength of women, particularly Black women?
Um, oh, it's a lot because every summer I was at my grandmother's house. The day of school out, I'm there because I knew we was getting up at 5 something in the morning, cleaning the garden, cleaning the chicken coop. And my other brother's like, I ain't going. And grandma had you working. I was excited to go. I was like, because I know I'm going to eat. Granny going to spoil me. Um, all those elements. And I tell you a story that's not in the book, but after my grandmother passed, it was hard for me to accept it.
Mm.
I mean, like for years, I would be dreaming, she 5 years gone, and I'm still while I'm sleeping, and I'm in Dallas, whatever. And I'm like, man, all right, Granny, I dream myself, I find myself driving back to Greenville, picking her up, taking her to the grocery store, cause I used to do that. When I was dating, I said, where you going? Spun my grandmother how to take her to the store. You driving way down there, just take her to the store. Yeah, that's my grandmother. That's my granddad. That's my mom. And I did the same thing with mom. When she was sick, I was living in uh Frisco, Little Am, I think Frisco. And every Saturday, I would drive to Greenville. My mom loved these little chopped barbecue sandwiches.
Mhm.
So I would go, sometime I'd go pick her up, or I just go bring it to her. She loved that, and then little Lay's chips, and a Coke. And she loved peppermint and peanut patty. Remember the peanut patty? Yeah.
Yes.
And so I enjoy those things, but learning how I was raised, learning my fulfillment of women, because I'm a girl dad.
Mhm.
I love my girls. I mean, I love my boys too, but my girls just, daddy, okay, what you need? Boys, daddy, what's up, man? It's just that. What you want? What is it? I'm gonna listen, but okay, I'm just like, but what you need? Girls, yeah, you good? You need something? They don't really have to ask, but trying to, I always tell them every year. They laugh at me. This is a year you are unspoiled. They like, okay. So, but I love those moments, but just the impact from the female in my family.
Mhm.
Man, not only my mom and grandmother, my aunties, my my female cousins, we always said, love you, baby, love you, sweetie, all that. On my dad's side, we didn't hear the love. One day, me and my baby brother Lawrence was by then my dad and mom was a divorce. They was divorced. We went to go visit our dad, and he was like, he walked us to the car. We was like, okay, never did this. And before we left, he gave us a hug. All right, y'all be good. Love y'all. Immediately when we got in the car, my Lawrence, me and my baby brother Lawrence, uh, we called our mom. Is something wrong with dad? And then she said, why? Because he said he loved us. And she just bust out laughing. And she said, I don't know. Was he dying? Because we've never heard those words.
Hmm.
I love you. Now, my kids, and you guys heard me on the phone, my kids, it's always, we end every conversation with, I love you.
Yeah.
I love you too. That's just a part of me. And it's easy for me, and I wish, and I'm glad I tell my kids that, so hopefully they tell their kids that the same thing, because it's important for men to show emotion. Um, it was hard for me dating showing emotion, but with kids, my kids, I'm loving them. I just come to put eyes on you. Some days I go to Greenville just to take them to breakfast, take them to lunch, whatever, just to put eyes on them. My daughter Quantum said that you always grin out. Yeah, because I'm just happy to see y'all. Or I drive to Houston, see my youngest on Madison, just to love on her. And that's important to me as a dad, as a girl dad. When my sons, I talk to them, see what they doing, what you're doing, you good. We have men conversations. My girls, I listen.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you light up
Oh
when we
yeah.
talk about your
Yeah.
children
Yeah.
and fatherhood. I mean,
Yeah.
that is a huge deal in your life. So, what do you think your kids would say if they were to describe you in one word? What would that be in terms of their relationship with you? What do you think they would say?
He's dad. He's dad. My youngest, cause she's like 22 now. I think she was preteen, whatever. You know, I didn't know. She blooming. So I went to Houston and it was hot, like 102 outside. I was like, she come outside, hey dad. I'm like, what you got this hoodie on? It's hot out here. I'm getting out the car sweating. I said, take this off. And I said, she's blooming. So
She was trying to
I
hide
called
that.
I called her mom,
Uh-huh.
Karen, and I said, hey, I'm whispering, Madison's, she's growing up. I said, what are you talking about? I
Developing
said,
a
she's,
little bit.
I called it blooming. She
Yeah.
said, what?
Mhm.
Blooming? She said, oh, breast? Uh, yeah. I said, well, just take this soak in a bra. Okay. Because my oldest daughter, I think they mama did. They was in that era, so this was new for me. So went to Walmart, and so it was a whole different department. I saw a lady. I said, "Hey, excuse me, my daughter's blooming. Can you help her?" First thing she said was, "This not my department." I'm like, "Well, aren't you a female?"
Help.
So I turned around. I didn't know what Madison had. I'm walking over. She's over there picking out sport bra. Her dad, I need this one because they don't have wires, this and that. She educated me. I'm just like, and I said, huh? I said, okay, get what you need, baby girl. She's like, well, I'm gonna get the boy shorts. I'm gonna get this. Okay, I'm just mouth open. She said, such a dad.
Yeah, such a dad.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I love that.
and I remember that to this day. I was like, wow, I'm glad she knew what to get. Because, maybe her mom and sister then was telling her what she needed when that time coming. And I was like, wow, this is, but
And
I'm glad I experienced that.
absolutely. And one of your quotes is, being a father is my greatest title.
Oh, it is.
Everything else comes after that.
It is. My
Yeah.
kids and care less about what I do and how I do it, but they just see me as dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for that, though, you actually got an award.
Oh yeah,
Talk
yeah.
about
I
that.
got an
Yes.
award from Judge Maybelline
Mm-hmm.
from the Maybelline Ephraim Foundation, and it was the Huff Award. It's honoring unsung fathers, and I got to give a shout
Why was
out
that important to you to talk
um,
about that?
well, it's important to me. I didn't know anything about it, but my good friend Michael Collier been on over 20-something years. The comedian, played on Martin, and he did a podcast. I think you and I was on it, and he had asked me about. He's like, you should be on the Huff Award. I was like, what's that? He's, I'm gonna send it to you. He said, you should be in this category for fathers, this and that, because I had just finished the book and stuff. And I had no idea, so flew down there, got the award, and was able to meet. I gave so many people. Yeah, so many different
You meet
judges.
someone besides Judge
Yeah,
Maybelline?
yeah. I've met so many different people that I've
Yes.
seen on TV. Different judges.
Mhm.
Every black
Yes.
judge at that
Judge
time that was on
Ross,
TV that was
Judge
there.
Young.
I was
Yes.
like, wow, okay. But everybody was cool, this and that. I didn't know what to expect. But went on stage and received the award, and so I was honored for that. But receiving that, it was like, okay, I'm good. But it was an honor. I mean, it didn't make me change who I am, but
It solidified who you
it
are.
Yeah.
solidified it, and
It's
I
important to be seen.
yeah, and I had a conversation with Judge Maybelline. I said, "This is good." I was like, "More people should know about this. This should be nationally known. This and that." But it's kind of localized in California, in the LA Long Beach area, and yeah, I really try to go every year. I'm not sure if I'm able to go this year because I've got so many other things going on that's kind of taking precedence of it. But she's loved. Judge Maybelline, Ephraim.
So you received that award after writing your Still Dad, or an
Being
iteration
Dad.
of your
Yeah.
Still Dad, which was Being Dad.
Yeah,
Talk about that book a little bit, and why was it important to get that message out?
to write it because even though I've been divorced twice with kids, and it's like you have these revelations, and sometimes I get down because I'm thinking, because I look at my sibling, they with the same person that they was married to, and I'm like, man, what is wrong with me? I said, they got kids, I got kids, but I'm divorced. Were they a bigger, stronger fighter than me? And I love my sister Rachel. She just hopefully she don't get mad at this, but she always say she just don't believe in divorce. And I was like, wow. I said, yeah, but so and so. She's like, I just don't believe it. She's like, I just stay with it.
Mm.
And I said, man, shoot, I was running, not running per se, but I did everything biblically I thought I needed to do before divorce came in. I would literally sit there and read the Bible of, okay, anything had to do with marriage and divorce to make sure I was clear on getting that divorce. But writing the book, it was a God thing, you know. I in my head, I'd have my little tablet on my nightstand. I said, write the book. What book? Still dad. I said, I'm a dad. Yeah. What do I need to write a book for? He said, it's not about you. It's to help others. So, me being who I am, hard headed. So I just started writing. Da 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 da. Sent the copy to you. Sent the copy to you. And I'm waiting for y'all responses.
Share the story. Tell
Yeah.
the truth. Shame the devil.
Yeah. So I asked Linda, so what do you think? Well, it'll be a little squeaky voice. It'll be a lot of editing. Okay, I was just writing. Angie, you read it yet? Not yet. It's been like 2-3 weeks. I said, when you gonna read it? Well, what did you say?
I asked you what the purpose of the manuscript was, because you wrote it in such a way that it sounded more like a screenplay,
Screenplay,
as opposed to a book. And I was
Yeah.
thinking, I can see the different conversations and the voices, and
Didn't know who they were
it did
coming
not
from.
align and coincide with
Yeah.
what you had
In mind.
mentioned as the introduction to the book.
Yeah.
So I was confused.
Yeah.
So I
think you told me
finally
that.
had
As
to
we
ask,
all.
what is this?
Yeah. And in my analogy, it meant, oh, they don't think I can write.
What
It
is
was a little
this?
challenging
And I
at
said,
first.
we can take it back to the drawing. So I scrapped everything
Mm-hmm.
and started over. I was like, I'm very competitive, people.
Mm-hmm.
And she called me, what do you call me, petty?
Competi.
Yes,
Competi.
This
competitive.
competitiveness.
I said, it's
Competitive.
competitive.
Yeah.
So I
Competitiveness.
went back to the drawing board. I said, okay, let me write this. And I wrote it. And then you was at the event, I was sending you some stuff, some chapters. You was like, who wrote this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Me.
much
I had my
so.
laptop on the
Yes, it had changed so drastically
I
Yes.
for the better.
I said to Angie, I think you just said the same thing.
Said, who wrote this?
I said, me.
Yeah.
I said, I can write. I was just, and maybe in my mind, I was thinking stage play, because I write stage plays and stuff.
Yes.
But I think I was just trying to get it out just to please God in a sense. Like, okay, I wrote it. And he was like, he said, write the book. So when I wrote Reinvent It, when I heard him say that, all right,
Yeah.
I didn't play with it.
Yeah.
I dove deep. So yeah.
And the rest is history,
Mhm.
as they say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so between the two books, because of course you being male, although you said it is for females as well,
Mhm.
what do you hope the takeaway message in both of these books?
And still, dad after divorce, it doesn't mean you have to be divorced. It's about being present. Because most men will divorce their kids. Most women will divorce their kids when they go through a divorce, when they go through a breakup relationship. You don't have to be married to. I mean, I would love women to get it, to read it to their husband, or they work at it together, because it makes you stronger. It makes you appreciate your children. Make some of these kids. It was I think a governor, mayor, and in D.C. I believe I just saw it. I think I told you about it, or one of you guys, that you know how these teenagers and kids is out doing destruction. So this mayor, I believe it's mayor, I can't remember her name,
Yeah.
and she put in law right then. Let your kids get out of line.
Mayor Perry.
Parents, you going to jail. You going to
Mhm.
prison.
Mhm.
I said, thank God, because
Yeah.
some of them they don't know where their kids at. It was a family's son got killed. I think the two teenagers, they 15, 16, tried to break in a man's house at 2, 3 in the morning. Then they tried to sue the man that defended himself.
Sue the owner.
Keep your bad kids at
Mhm.
home. It's like, know where your kids is at. I've always know where my kids was at. I said the alarm didn't get in the alarm. Cove. Go outside. Hey, where you going? Get your butt back in here. It's sad. It's not we locking them in, but we're protecting them. And now they all grown, which is good.
Law-abiding citizens.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yes, we from
we
raising them.
have some. It ain't perfect. I got one that's
But the lessons to learn.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
learning the lessons. So
Uh-huh.
If they didn't learn, they learn from him. So yeah, but at the end of the day, they all good kids. But sometimes you get in a bad situation, thinking you know better, and just being transparent. I got my oldest son still in prison. He will call me every now and then and say, "Dad, I don't be like, shoulda, woulda, coulda, told you." He's a dad. Everything you told me was right, but I took it upon myself to learn the hard way. That's why you not to say, I love you.
But you know what I can commend you for is that, because I've overheard some of those conversations that you didn't shun him. You didn't put him away.
Right.
You are
Yeah.
still dad,
Yeah,
even in
Even in
his
that
situation.
Yeah.
So that speaks volumes
yeah.
because a lot of people out of embarrassment will put their children away.
Oh no.
They got
And
put
try to
away,
hide
so I'm
it.
putting them away. So
Yeah.
you chose not to do that. But what other lessons would you like men to walk away with from your Still Dad book in particular?
It's to, again, you just say, be present. Kids gonna make mistakes. I made mistake, probably didn't get caught. My oldest brother, we all came from that era where, especially if you're the oldest, if the youngest get in trouble, the oldest one get the whooping. I was like, oh, this works out good. I ain't got to get no spanking. But I just want men to be men. Talk to your kids. Talk to your child mom, whether y'all together or not, because it's important. My youngest daughter, Madison, and she tried it. I think all kids tried it because they was in Houston, I was here, and she would ask me something, and I said, "Well, did you ask your mom? Because that's where you're living at." I just asked you. I appreciate you asking me, and I was explaining to her, me and mommy's on the same page. So what we not gonna do is use one against the other. Because I don't run mama's household, mama don't run daddy's household. But respect. But it was so funny when they first moved to Houston. I think she was in the kindergarten. She was 5, whatever. She had a little phone. Dad, it's a house right across the street, and it's for sale. You want the phone number so you can move across the street?
That
And
is
I'm like,
so cute.
I get quiet. I said, no, Daddy can't do that. That's why I can have my own room when I get out of school. I can just get my own key and I come straight to Daddy's
She
house.
had it all planned out.
Yeah, and I
That is
said,
cute.
I don't know, baby. They
Doesn't
ain't gonna
work
look
that way.
good. Mama boyfriend probably won't like that, and it just, it's like, I ain't want to be like, Mama gonna be in my business. She gonna think I'm in hers and this and that. I said, she said, Dad, I can take a picture of it so when you come at her, we can see it and we can go into it and I can pick my room out.
Oh, that is cute.
And that's what Daddy work in Dallas. He ain't working in Houston.
But one thing, you alluded to was the importance of co-parenting, though,
Yeah.
and that communication between the
Child.
mom and dad,
Mhm.
the child, but
Father,
also
son.
the mother and the father. So talk a little bit about that. How important is that co-parenting and that co-parenting relationship, and how did it differ?
Well, again, being transparent, Marcus, I had 2 wives with kids that I had kids by. The first one, co-parenting wasn't all that good, But I mean, I always had to talk to my kids. They were, Daddy, Mama ain't doing this and that. I just say, how your mom is. So when they with me, they know I am. But the co-parenting wasn't as I would like for it to be. Even to this day, and kids are grown. It's like, but with the one in Houston, our co-parenting was on point. We like ain't saying best friend, but we friends. And I always and we'll get together. I'm down there. Hey, you hungry? Let's go get something to eat, and we'll talk about Madison. We'll have those conversations. The kids here, we have conversations sometimes because we have grandkids. So it's just as important as try to be co-parents with your kids as it is with grandchildren.
That's a
Because
great point.
they not going nowhere. So I'm able it's funny. I think with the grandkids, it's a little bit better conversations with her versus it was with our children. Because I'm like, okay, getting older, all this rigmarole and all that, blah, blah, blah. We ain't doing that.
Yeah.
It's easy to hang up, click, block.
Yeah,
Well,
conversations. But kids are listening though, even when you think they aren't. Like you were talking about Maddie, and
Yeah.
she was just picking up all these clues, and
Yes.
I'm gonna say this or that. But you have written so many other books, and
Yes.
The Woman I Love, Being Mom After Divorce. How many more books does Marcus have inside of him?
Ooh.
What can we look forward to?
That I don't know how many I got inside of me. I think when my writing book style is like epiphanies in a sense that
You
you and
have
I
to
could be
see
having
it.
a conversation, and I'll be like, man, that sounds like a book.
Mm-hmm.
You and I have a conversation. I'll be like, I want to write something like that. Next thing I know, oh, I got a title. And for me, all I need is a title. But to your question, I got one called, ironically, Still Mom After Divorce. Because it happens. It's unisex book, but still dad is focused on the man. Still mom is going to be focused on the woman, but it's still interchangeable. Uh, the Woman I Love is a fiction book because, of course, I'm single. I've been divorced, but because I had to fix me, through hurt, through pain, through trust. Um, but I always say when God say I'm ready, when I can really honestly say, okay, I think I'm ready. This one, you know, because whether I like somebody or not, sometimes they can say something that reminds me of something else. I don't know. I ain't going.
Triggers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I ain't going through this. I was
Mhm.
shut down like a revolving door with the chain coming down. Going to
Double
the next.
bolted lock.
Yeah, and my other books, they're deep. I won't say the name. I want nobody steal the title, but it don't matter. But yeah, if I write it, I write it. They can have the same title, but yeah, they're deep, and I've shared them with y'all. Just not gonna share them yet because I wouldn't be like,
Of course, yeah.
But they some good informatic books, emotional books. Um, my last one that I'm working on, and I shared it with you, and y'all response was like, "Wow!" I guess I gave y'all synopsis. I said, oh, "Okay, now they understand I could write."
It-
I did.
What
know.
this and what's so ironic about this is all of this creative outlet and output is coming from a person who owns an IT company. Where you
Yeah.
would think it would be you would be straight and narrow, nerding out in your computer,
Oh, I do
but
that.
yet you're able to create these beautiful works in these
So
books. So,
there's so many
when did
facets,
you
so much
discover
more.
that? I mean, because it sounds like you knew you were a nerd, you knew
Yeah.
you were different,
Mm.
but yet you had an outlet and a way to express yourself
I think
differently.
growing up, when I was go back to the reinvented and trauma and stuff, when it's noisy, I would go in my corner and just write, draw, write poems. I always wrote stuff to calm me. It's like some of my calming days is when it's pouring raining outside because it takes me back to my childhood to where I saw my as weird as that sound when I saw my dad choke my mom and all that, and it just reflects back to love. Meaning when my grandmother came over, she loved her daughter, my mom, so much. I still don't know how she got there because it was like in 2 minutes. I know it was like 20-minute drive, but it's just sometimes time lapses so fast, and so rain relaxes me because when my grandmother came, and pulled a gun on my dad's head, it for me it was savings, and I was able to relax because Granny was there, and she saved my mom. So when I do that stuff, when it rains, it just brings me peace and joy. Like I start reflecting on my mom, my grandmother, and I can relax because I say mom is safe. So that's what thunderstorms and rain mean to me. Some people they scared to me. It's like, I'm at peace now.
Yeah.
So, okay, are you up for a challenge?
Always. I'm a
Okay.
Capricorn.
Okay. So many people may not know that you mentioned you're a poet.
Yes.
And many people may not know your ability or be familiar with your ability to just create poetry off the cuff.
hmm
Okay, so I'm going to give you a phrase,
Okay.
and let's see what you do with it.
Okay.
Okay.
This
And
is
we're
copyrighted live.
and we're in this podcast studio, and I'm looking around the room, just looking for a phrase.
Mhm.
Just push record.
Mm. Just push record. Push record. Push it on your life to see what plays. If you pause it too quick, the things that you wanted to see is paused again. When you push record and speak your truth, nobody can ever doubt the things that you do. When I push record on my life, I let it play because there's no blockage for it in any way. I love the things with the lights and cameras as I'm recording myself. I think about the things that I want to do. At the end of the day, I tell myself this love is true. I record my life in a way that no one can see. Only between me and God, you see. As I push record on the things I want to do, I always tell my children these things are true. Pushing record to me is more than a button, you see. As you see this mouse, I can clearly see it. My life, my challenges that come my way, no matter which way you may see it, they're here to stay. As I'm recording this segment right here, it's still there for you to see. Check out the Marcus Lee Stephenson Show. It's not just something to see. Usually everything that's on there is something about me. Conversation that matters. It's a real thing. It's not made up. As we bring stuff to you daily, weekly, however you may see. Push record. Let yourself be. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay.
All right. And with that, I think we can drop the mic. I think this episode is done of the Marcus Lee Stephenson Show. So thank you so much,
Thank
Marcus,
you.
for just the insight into, your books and your life and all of the things. So thank you so much.
Yeah,
So much to
and
Marcus Lee Stephenson.
Thank you.
We're going to
And
dig deeper.
again, these books are more to me just color and thoughts. It's really to help people. It helped me while writing it. Like this one, From Broken to Empowered. Still Dad Workbook. And when you read this one, it talks about still a father, still a leader, still their hero, your children. People say, don't make me a hero. To me, every man, every mother, every father should be a hero to their own.
Sure.
I like my kids to look at me to say, this is what my daddy did. I learned from my dad. Sometimes ones who don't have fathers. But there's men who don't have children but still can help other children.
Role models.
Right?
Yes.
Mothers that don't have children but still can help other mothers. This one talks about fatherhood, healing, showing up when life changes. And life changes.
Every
Right.
day.
Middle daughter got married last year in September. No, the year before last year. Yeah, this year. Yeah, to be 2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
Too.
Yeah. 2 years coming in. And but my greatest joy is that I'm able to still be here. I thank God for that all the time, because I'm still teaching my children, and they still have the adaptation to learn. So I appreciate that. So again, thank you for watching the Marcus Lee Stephenson Show, and tune in again as we're gonna have segments across the board as we grow, and loving you loving everybody, you know, whether you see me in the streets, see me on TV, see me on social media. My love for you is real. My team love is for you for real. And again, love y'all. Have a blessed one.